What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow for NIO and what on earth the data is suggesting. I'm also going to break down what on earth may happen based off what on earth is going on in Poland, because we do have a big update involving NIO that's huge. And I'm also going to end the video by talking about what NIO put on their Twitter page, which is very bullish news for their brand, for their long-term future, and so on and so forth. Now, before I break anything down about NIO, before I get into any details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner, so don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, but benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you could always sell these 12 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 2 days, so please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So I am actually recording this 5 minutes before the market closes. NIO is currently around that 19.8 level, and SPY is dropping pretty hard right now. It did take a bit of a hit after it got that big rejection into power hour. If you look at this on the 5 minute, you can notice something very, very interesting going on right here. So SPY was at 405, got a big rejection off that. Now it's starting to push down, and you guys could see in real time, SPY is pushing down. At least it did take a bit of a hit, and it actually went to a lower range. And look at how NIO reacted. Okay, on the 5 minute charts, look at how NIO reacted. You could see as SPY was dropping, it wasn't just SPY, it was the whole market. And as the whole market was essentially taking a hit, we could see NIO also did drop down pretty hard. You guys can see how NIO is moving. So this is the reason why I often talk about SPY in NIO as well, because there tends to be that correlation. And we tend to see this very, very often, because when we look at data like this, NIO has a market cap of like 31 billion, and they have pretty decent revenue, and their gross profit, it could use some improvement, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. Look at the comparison between SPY and NIO. Very similar trends here. And if SPY takes a hit, the whole market takes a hit, and that can bring down NIO. Now, NIO's beta is not as sensitive as before, but this tends to happen during downtrends. So once the market starts to rip and things like that happen, I do think NIO is going to see a big difference relative to SPY. And other than that, we're seeing a lot of big differences in the intraday VPP and other things like that, which is showing the change in volume relative to price. So based off all this, there is something else I want to talk about, and that's this right here. So for NIO, what we're essentially seeing is we are expecting a bit of a downtrend over this short period of time. If I bring up like the 2-hour chart, you guys can notice something very interesting. NIO has been downtrending as well, but we're not just going down, down, down. We're starting to kind of range and trade in a channel. So there is a bit of a difference right there. So what I'm going to do is now just close all these indicators and let me actually do something a little bit different once this closes. So what I'm essentially seeing is NIO is looking a little bit better than I would have actually anticipated. We actually bounced a little higher than 19.5 right here. We actually pushed to 21.26, so nice move. But what we're also needing to really note is the fact that if this pushes up, we often see this formation where NIO gets a big push up into open, then it actually starts dropping as the day goes on. And I do anticipate something very similar to happen. So I'm going to talk about support and resistance levels and what could end up playing out for tomorrow. It depends on the overall market. And it does look like we're going to see another repeat of this trend. So let me actually show you guys. Tomorrow, I think into open, NIO is going to fight for 20.2. Then we're going to push a little higher, maybe to like 20.8. That could be the peak of the day. And get another big rejection. Very similar trend as today. But this time, NIO is going to try to hold a higher range. But if SPY takes a big hit, which it looks like it definitely could, I wouldn't be surprised if NIO starts to kind of drop like this to 19.5, try to hold it. And we could go a little lower. So like to 19.2, 19.4, it's possible for NIO to actually close around there and actually see a day a little bit in the red once again, but not too bad. So I do see a lot of range trading happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if we actually came down a bit if SPY were to take another big hit. And it really looks like that could end up happening. Now, For the short term, yeah, I do see some more potential downside. I understand why some people could be very concerned, but I don't think NIO is going to just crash to the floor out of nowhere. I don't see that happening. I think it's going to take time. And additionally, I want to talk about another big factor. Right now, in the markets, there's a big deal coming out between the US and China. That's going to be very good news for NIO because US auditors can now come to Hong Kong. When they come to Hong Kong, they can actually start to audit a lot of Chinese companies like NIO. So that will really, really help with the delisting fears and all the news out there that numbers are fake and this and that. We won't have to worry about that in the future. Now, as far as this piece of news goes, once this actually pulls up, NIO 87 has prototypes in Poland. You heard that properly. NIO is now entering Poland. They're working very hard on the prototypes. We're going to see them expanding like crazy. It's a very luxurious car, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did very, very well in this market, especially as countries all over Europe are becoming more and more primed into entering the EV space. So what is very good about Poland is this is just another place where they could grow and really expand their business model. So as they expand to one European country, they started off like going to Germany. What they're doing is they're seeing the growth in these different countries and they're entering early, right? Just like how if you were to buy a stock when it's cheap in the future, it has the potential to go up and really benefit you. So NIO's doing it right now. They're entering these different markets right now because it is going to benefit them even more. Now, with that said, very bullish news from that end, not to mention the news that came out from China for the long term with the US and China deal. And other than that, I think their long term future is very, very bright, despite the potential downside in the markets for the short term. So if we look right here, we could see NIO Global actually tweeted something very cool. Just as there are TED Talks in the US, NIO hosts Seeds Talks in China, most recently with famed animator Tony Bancroft. So very, very cool, who shares his passion and experience in the next generation and encourages them to pursue what they truly love. So I think this is very, very amazing news that NIO is now hosting these big events where you can actually hear kind of like voices and big, big, big things like this. It really makes their brand big. It really puts them out there and it gains them more and more exposure as time goes on. So that said, I'm still super bullish. And I really believe that if this thing does come down to like the lower teens, if the whole market were to take a hit within the next like 2, 3 months, I'm not worried whatsoever. I'm going to be loading the boat on these dips for the long term. Very good buying opportunities are here, and I'm still incredibly bullish for NIO's long-term future. With that said and done, thank you all so much for listening. Please have an absolutely fantastic rest of the day, and remember to remain calm, cool, and collected, and not let all the noise out there get into your head when you are trading and trying to make intelligent moves. Thank you. Have a great day, and I will most definitely see you guys in the next video. NIO to the moon because the long-term future is bright, and peace out.